everybody. It is Wednesday. It is August. So we are bringing back Wind Down Wednesday. We're so jazzed about it. So go ahead and grab whatever you need, and we'll be back in about 30 seconds. Rachel, I'm so happy to be hanging with you tonight. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm like, it's funny because like the school year hasn't particularly launched, but I think all the anticipation of August has me feeling like a lot of feels.
Yeah. Feels of like the roller coaster of feels. Like you're like, I'm excited to get my kids out of the house.
Yeah.
But then I also am like, oh no, school's starting and I didn't have to get all the stuff done that we wanted to do. And
yes, exactly. Have you heard the saying that August is like the whole month of August is like a long Sunday night?
It so is. And we were having the conversation last night in my household about our children start school on the 16th. And so they were like, oh, should next week we start to like wake them up a little bit earlier? No more sleeping in. And
yes. It's rough. It's the changing and the routine. It's all the things. So many things. So we're super pumped because now that we are launching back towards the school year, like kind of getting ready to kick off a new school year, we are now transitioning out of our summer timeout Tuesday to our Wind Down Wednesday, and we'll be here August, September, October. We've got big plans for all of those months, so we're really, really excited about that. A quick announcement that we are also bringing back by like popular demand at Alicia Brienzo's BPAC information series. It is amazing. It's free. And like you could literally just go on our website, print out the flyer, and like it's got all the links like through a QR code, all the links, and you just hand it to your families. And like, here you go. Like so it's a great resource. It's a great
such a great resource.
Yeah. Oh, such a great community for families. So it's just equipping them with lots of great information, great tools, great resources. So it's all ready to go.
I mean, districts could even, open up a classroom with somebody and have like, a space for people to come in person if they wanted and watch at Alicia on the computer.
Yes.
So many.
It's so cool. So many different like possibilities, right?
Yes. So many.
I love it. So we wanted to remind you all about that. But if you are tuning in tonight, we'd love to hear when is your start back day? Like, I know again, like educators, we typically go back a few days early, up to a week early, 2 weeks early, sometimes depending. So let us know when are you fully launching back in?
It was like this time of year normally, right? Where you'd be emailing your principal saying, when can I get in my classroom? And you'd get the response, they're still waxing the floors.
That's the worst. And you're like, can I just come in and drop some things off?
I don't care. I just want to start like hanging the paper on my bulletin boards. Or
That's right.
You just need to put the borders up because that's what matters.
That's what matters. Exactly. Oh man, so much excitement. So I'm super pumped because tonight's topic is all about school supplies and teachers. Like we are so passionate about the supplies that we have.
Right? Like the supplies are just, I mean, but I felt like this year the supplies came out in the stores. It was giving me like holiday vibes. Like now we've got Halloween decor out, and it was like it felt like school supplies were out before school was out.
Yes, I know. I was like, can we blink? can we like take a breath before y'all are saying, let's go back to school?
Yeah. Well, I was surprised. I popped into Walmart the other night to get I had like 2 notebooks because I needed a specific color that I had to go grab. And like that area was like very picked over already. And I was like, there's still 2+ weeks left before school starts.
Yes, yes. Oh man.
More procrastinators are going to be out of luck.
Oh man, I feel like there's always like one thing on the list that's impossible to find. For me, a few years ago, it was a green notebook. I checked Walmart, I checked Target, I checked everywhere, the dollar store. We had green. I was like, we're going with 2 reds. I don't know what else we're going
to. With a Post-it note that said, my mom couldn't find this color.
Put a note on it. This is green. This is my green one. I love it.
Yeah, no, there's so many different school supplies that like sometimes you look at that list and you're thinking, they're never going to use this, but I'm going to buy it anyways.
Yep. I'm going to buy it. It's on the list. We'll grab it.
Oh, and I always struggled with like from the teacher perspective of like when we'd sit down at the end of the school year to create those lists that like some of my team members wanted some things. I wanted other things. We somehow had to compromise, but then I'd end up with things that like I just didn't care for. But they wanted, so it was always a fun give and take adventure there. A lot of
yes.
A lot of collaborative conversations. We probably need some facilitation around creating school supply lists.
Yes, because it's very heated. We're like, no, and like even the brand of pencils. Teachers are very passionate about what brand of pencils.
About your Dixon Ticonderogas.
Exactly. Pre-sharpened. Snaps for pre-sharpened. Oh, those are golden to me.
Don't get me anything from the Rose Art line. I don't want it.
See, I don't mind Rose Art. Like I'm cool. Like I'll accept any kind of coloring supply. But I do like the smell of Crayola crayons, which is very strange. But speaking of scented things, okay, so Rosie, thank you, because that is on my top must-have for me is my Mr. Sketch. This is my number one. I must every year get myself a new fresh set.
I don't have, they're out of the bin, but
we love our Mr. Sketch.
This is always on my top.
Yes.
Good, and I might be biased. I like the fat markers, the chunky ones, better than the skinny ones.
Too. I really do. See, and I feel like for a lot of other things, I prefer the skinnier ones, but for the dry erase, I like the thicker ones for sure.
Yeah. And I don't know, maybe I found too that like when I taught kindergarten, like they were easier for the kids to manipulate sometimes versus the skinny ones. But then we'd always put like the markers on there, and then we would forget that there was an eraser component that we need.
Yeah.
I mean, and there's so many options for where you go with the eraser side of things, but
yeah, I did this for a training, but I was like, man, this would have been super nice. But I've also seen people like you could, buy like a pom-pom and hot glue a pom-pom. I'm like, but that takes up so much time. But I got like a 50 pack for, I don't remember how much. It was like maybe $10. But there's like a bunch of these mini ones. But the problem with the mini ones like this is they run out so fast. Yeah. So it's like, is this really a better deal or not?
Yeah, I bought some for my own like training usage. It came with markers and these little blue erasers, and they don't work good at all. So like I've gone back to like grabbing the random extra socks around the house and using those because they work better. And then you can stick the marker inside of them, and then maybe you're less likely to lose them.
That's a great idea. It's like an instant little case for it. I love that. I love that. Okay. Another of my must-haves, and this isn't really like, I guess it's not technically a school supply, but every year I buy myself a big old new planner. Like, yep. Real big, like the biggest size I can get. And that's like my go-to. I'm still like very paper pen for everything. So
did. It took me a couple of years, but I did transition out of my calendar on paper, but I have to carry around a notebook. It can, like, right now it's a random composition notebook. Sometimes it's just like whatever I'm laying around. And it's just like, I sometimes don't even go back to these, but I have to write it down.
See, I'm the same way. And my current one is a cute little Sanrio one. And I got this one from Five Below. But I love all the little characters on the top.
Those are fun.
Like, yes, I'm a professional. I'm going to open up my Karopi notebook.
Well, so that makes me think of, what is your thoughts and opinions around character-based notebooks and folders?
See, I don't mind it as long as it's not like, something crazy, wildly inappropriate. I don't mind it. But like, I don't know. I think school supplies, like for many kids, it's like such a source of like pride. Like they're so proud to bring in this item, that item, whether it was donated, whether their family member picked it up for them, whatever. Like they come in with such excitement, ready to use that thing. But it also, like, I don't know, does it also make other kids feel bad who don't have Karopi on their notebook? I don't know. What do you think?
I mean, I get torn like that, right? Like, because, from the primary age side of things, it's very much like, I love that the kids can express themselves a little bit and like pick that, or they get stickers and they want to fill them up. But then on the flip side of things, I'm like, I needed you to have a yellow folder because I want you to associate yellow with math. And when I say take out your math folder, it's the yellow one and you're not. But, where does that like draw a line of just general organizational skills versus letting kids have some of those experiences, right? Kind of mirrors like the school uniform conversation.
Yes, absolutely.
Like where's the equity line in it? And
absolutely.
But
and I've also seen, go ahead.
No, I mean, it just makes me think about being in elementary school and wanting everything that Lisa Frank could send out.
Yes. I loved my Lisa Frank so hard as a kid. Like I wanted the pink dolphin on all my stuff and like the stickers that went with it and the envelopes that went with the stationery, like all of it. It was such a big deal. But I've seen, so I like, speaking of, and I like what you said about like expressing yourself. So like my current notebook that I just use for taking notes for meetings and stuff, it's got my Sanrio characters. But like I've seen teachers like will send out a thing like, do what you can of the school supplies, family, like try your best. And plain is better. Plain is preferred because we're going to cover our notebooks with different things. And I remember when I was teaching, my entire team was like, oh, we're going to have a full day for like the first day of like your writer's workshop, like launching your writer's workshop of like, we're going to, totally accessorize our writer's notebook and make it all about us. And so there was like a thing that went home that was like, bring in photos of things that are important to you or ticket stubs. And I was like, I'm not about to ask all my families to go print. Who prints photos? I don't print photos. I'm like, I'm not going to make families go to CVS or Walgreens to print stuff. So I was like, don't even worry about that. So I just went and I printed a bunch of things that I knew students were into, like sports things, puppies, kittens, unicorn, like all the things. And I just printed them all out. I had a bunch of stickers and I was like, y'all choose. Y'all just decorate from this. Like, keep it easy. Keep it simple.
Yeah. And then you're not worried about some kids brought more things than others. You kind of controlled that situation a little bit to make it a little bit more equitable across the classroom, which is, that's what I think. If you're going to, somewhat maybe allow or be okay with students having those fun notebooks, those fun folders, maybe we purchase a few extras to have for those students who don't. And then they can select like, hey, I've got a few. Maybe you add those into a prize bucket or something throughout the year.
Totally. Love that.
But I don't even, now with being able to grab things with like grocery pickup and delivery types of services. I mean, my stepsons have no idea what's even on their school supply list. We didn't. I remember going with my mom. We'd go together. It was a big to do.
Yes, and that's so different now. You're totally right, because you could just click, add it to a list, and that's like.
I pretty much was like, "Hey guys, got your school supplies? We're ready.
Ready to go.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's kind of a different, experience. And, there was a couple years when I was teaching where my school I can't remember what company it was through, but like you could, instead of going out and buying all the individual items, you could pay like, I want to say they're like $60-$70.
Yeah.
Which to me, I was like, I would never buy it because I like to look for the things on sale.
Yes. Yep.
But you could just like say, I'm going to purchase the kit. It's delivered to the school, and then you don't have to mess with it.
Yes. And I've seen too, like, because those kits, like, they include everything on the list, and it's customized, right, by like school. Like, they can just insert it all, and then it's super convenient for families. And I've also seen schools who, like, the PTA would receive a list of students, like from the social worker, from principal, whoever, and say, we are going to cover the cost for these students on this list. And I was like, I love that. And like, and of course, inform the family, like, would you're eligible. Would you prefer this to happen? Because again, some families are like, no, this is an important part of our back to school experience. We are going to go pick out our own supplies. But for some, that's really a game changer.
It is. And then there were some times where school supplies can be very overwhelming, not even for just families to go get, but then when they bring them in. And like when I taught kinder, there was so much more communal supply situations. They didn't have desks and things. And so it was like, where do I put all this now? Or sometimes I just wish I'd be like, could we just up the registration fee by like $20?
Right.
And like, can we just like get everything that we actually need and want?
Yeah. And just cover it. And it's all done.
Sure. Yeah.
No. That's true.
I mean, there was always those few things that were on the list and you're like, I don't need this. I don't want this.
Yeah.
And like one year we had some sort of, baggie of sorts, a Ziploc. And I didn't use nearly the quantity that I had a cupboard full of them dang Ziplocs.
See, and I always wonder about that too, because like, I feel like we should be really savvy now with like technology. Like, how do we partner up with a school down the street and say, hey, we have excess, baggies and y'all have excess pencils. Let's do a little swap. Yeah. I mean, I don't think anyone has excess pencils.
But we don't even do that none of the schools I taught in, we never even did that within our own school community.
Yeah, that would be a good part of like an April, May, like temperature check. Like, what do we have way too much of right now?
I did do something one year as a Christmas activity that instead of buying me gifts, we like asked like, hey, we need more Clorox wipes or we need more Kleenex, and just asked families like if they were going to purchase a teacher gift to instead purchase a classroom material.
I like that. That's super nice. Mm-hmm. That's super nice.
Yeah.
Do you have something?
You also feel obligated, like, oh, you can bring in the $3 box of wipes and still.
Yes. Do you have something that's like a ritual for you that you get every year, like a fresh set of something?
I usually get a fresh set of colored pens. And this year I'm really torn as to what brand I want to get. I've been thinking. So I had been for a while, really into a good Flair pen.
I love a Flair pen.
And for some reason lately, I want a thinner, like I feel like I need the non-marker. And so then I got back to these old Bic crystal ones.
Yeah.
And I'm really enjoying these ones, but there needs to be these pole top ones. I don't know why.
Okay.
But then I used another pen and I was like, what one was it? I had it here because I was like, I need to go order these in the colored section. Oh, this one. It's a Tool, T-U-L.
Yes. Yes.
I don't know where this came from, but it is the most amazing pen I've ever had.
Oh my gosh. It's like magical.
And then I went to look at buying a pack of the colored ones.
Yeah.
And it was like $28. And I thought, do I have enough in my little turnstile right now? So I'm trying to like tell myself, no, I don't need another set of colored pens just to float around.
Yes, I know. I think it's so bad too, because I feel like I'm really good at like, okay, Carly, every year you get your fresh, I get my fresh Mr. Sketch. That's like, I have to. That's my rule. And then I also get a few stacks of Astro Brights Neon. That's probably, those are probably my top two that I always have to get. But the pen situation, that's a whole other topic, because I have a gazillion Flair pens, but I don't know what it is. I feel like, I don't know, it's something psychological, I'm sure. But I'm like, I need a fresh set. All my other ones still work. Those Flair pens last forever. But I'm like,
do you think we could talk to the pen marker making company and tell them I don't really need like 3 of these ones?
Yes. Let's talk about the yellow.
How do we pair up with them? Like in a marker situation, very useful, can be used from a highlighter perspective. But in a pen, I can't use it.
I've never met anyone who's like, I need more yellow pens. I'm so glad there's 3 in this pack. No, give us 3 extra black pens. We'll take it.
Yeah.
Those are probably the ones we kind of go to most, because we, for paperwork and all, all those things.
Yep.
But yeah.
How do you feel about a red pen?
Oh, okay. I don't like a red pen. I will grade or like, give feedback on any other color, but I don't like a red pen.
So here's my question. So, I felt like that was a big push early in my teaching career.
Yeah.
We're going to quit using the red because of the punitive, like we all know the reasoning behind it. But have we gone so far past that now kids have no idea that we used to use red pen?
Oh, I wonder. That's a good question. I wonder if I talked to my kids, if they would even know.
I mean, I was thinking about the papers I've seen sent home.
Yeah.
I know there was like no red on there. Or, so much of their stuff is being graded and they're getting feedback like online.
Yeah.
And then just curious if the red pen thing is like taking its course and now we can bring it back.
I think you might be right. I think there might not be a fear of the red pen by kids in these generations. I think you're right. Isn't that wild?
Yeah.
That's cool. I like that.
And then I always stayed away from the orange too, because it was always a little, you're right on the border.
Yes.
So it was more of a green or a purple generally.
Yes.
Because I was saving my blues and my blacks for important documents.
Yes. Yep. That's right.
And then it stood out a little bit more when students were writing in pencil. So then you had like that, hey, here's my note, I'm the teacher kind of signal. But I'd be curious to like, somebody needs to do, that needs to be some like college students research project.
Yeah.
Dive into the red pen concept again.
Yes.
I'm so curious.
I feel like that needs some further exploration for sure. That's pretty interesting. All right. I'm going to share this one too. So you and I have talked about this before.
Yeah.
But a plastic plate from the Dollar Tree or the $1.25 store It comes in a gazillion colors, and it's a really cheap whiteboard. And they come in such fun colors, and you can get like a nice, bright, colorful pack. And now you have a whole bunch of whiteboards, and kids love writing on weird stuff.
They do. I did the thing one year at my kidney shaped table for like, small group, where you should like the piece of vinyl on the table.
Yes.
Oh, they ate that up.
They love it. They love it. So
the plate, that's such a good idea.
Best school supply ever.
I have to tell you, one of my every year, whenever I had to change classrooms or something, I had to get myself a new clock. Now this is my current office clock, but I was the person who liked to push the boundaries on my classroom, like physical space design. Ooh. And like, if you told me that this was the main board, I was going to make this.
Yes. Yes.
And so then I would like rearrange my room, and I hated being at my small group table and I couldn't see the clock. So I would go to like Walmart and get like the $4 clock and stick it up on the wall with like a command strip, because I wasn't gonna nailing anything into the walls. Yes. And I would put one on like every wall in the classroom. I may have raised a bunch of kiddos that had weird things with time like I do, but I had to be able to like just do a quick glance to be like, oh, time to switch groups. Oh, time to go to PE. Wherever I was at.
See, and I like that, because that's the functionality piece.
I would rather look at, because this is why I have this teeny tiny one right here. I would rather look at an analog clock to be like, oh, it's almost 7:30. We only do this for half an hour, versus trying to like grab my phone and like click on it. Like, I'm not a digital clock person. I prefer an analog clock.
Okay. Have you ever been influenced to buy something? Okay, this is my weakness. I am awful. You could be like, Carly, this comes in pink, and I'm like, I'll take it. I'm the worst. Have you ever been influenced to buy something for your classroom, and then you get it and you're like, why did I buy this?
Yeah, I know I have. Why am I blanking on what one of those things would be?
Well, you think about it, because I have one, and I saw it. I don't know if it was Pinterest or Instagram, but it was like, those like bubble gum machines, like the old school bubble gum, like you put in a quarter and you twist it and out comes a bubble gum, right? I got one of those because I saw someone post it, and I filled it with the little erasers, like the pencil top erasers. And it was so cute. And I put it on my desk, and anytime a kid wanted a thing, they would just twist it. They don't, obviously they didn't put a coin in. They would twist it and they would get their thing. And I'm like, why? Why did you do that, Carly? You could have just put a jar there. It's fine.
Yeah.
This was silly. I don't know why I needed that.
I would get really influenced on the current decor. Like, when the double border became a thing, why did I need to spend so much money on borders?
I know.
Kids didn't matter.
They're like, we don't care. We don't care.
They're like, oh, there was this. And then, were you a classroom theme person?
I wasn't so much like a theme person, but I was a color scheme person. Surprisingly, it was neon. I know everyone's shocked, but
I got sucked into the theme.
Okay.
I had a monkey. I had a bumblebee. My last one before I left the classroom was an owl theme. And it was that year that everything I got from students as gifts were owls. I still have a great friend, colleague, who I had her son. And he's a sophomore in high school right now, and she'll still text me once in a while and say he found a pair of something with owl on it and said, I think Miss Anderson needs this.
She loves owls.
Right. And so they think, and so now I look back and go, I don't think I could do that again, because that's all they thought that associated me
Yes.
with owls.
Yes.
But then again, I also like that they maybe go somewhere, see something, and then think of me.
Yes. Yes, I do like that.
And I still carry around a lunchbox that says #1 teacher, and it has an owl print because it was a gift from a student. Oh gosh, over 10 years ago.
Oh my gosh. I love that. See, and now like as they're all growing, they're like, Miss Anderson, she loved owls.
She does, yeah, that's what they think. And they didn't know that I could care less about owls.
Right. Like it was just the theme I picked.
There was a cute pack at the teacher store, and I thought I could put these on lockers. They look cute.
Yep. I love it. I love it. Oh man. See, and that's the other thing too, is like because I'm so easily influenced, I have to like really check myself because I'll see cute posters. Michael's has a lot of really cute posters right now. I'm like, I gotta stay out of Michael's. But like the really good, I'm like, oh, Michael's, you went hard this year. But I gotta resist.
I was really influenced, especially my first few years of teaching, to buy anything that came in Spanish, just because it wasn't as prominent. And now I look back, and I actually have done this, reference this in some sessions, of like really thinking about looking at those materials with a really critical eye of like, is this even important? So I'm thinking of one I used to have in my classroom, and it was like an English Spanish side by side, and it had the days of the week. Well, all the English ones were written in black, like capital letter and then lowercase to follow.
Okay.
All the Spanish ones were varying colors and then using all caps. Like lunes all in caps, martes. And then I didn't think twice about the fact that in Spanish, we actually don't capitalize the days of the week, period.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I have this on the wall thinking I just bought it because I had to buy it because it was in Spanish.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it actually wasn't serving a purpose to help me instructionally.
Yeah. Yes.
So it's really easy to be influenced by
that. We do. We have to be really critical. It's true. And again, like we get so excited because we're like that language representation, that's huge. I'm like, thank goodness this, retailer is like finally recognizing our linguistic diversity. But you're right. It's
and then that's, it's just puts teachers in such a tricky spot too, because if you don't speak the language of your students, or you see something and you're like, wow, I feel like I should buy this, but like, how do I check on that in the store?
Yes.
Without spending like 20 minutes in the aisle, like
yes. Oh, yes.
They draw me in. And then whenever I did do like that theme, it was does the teacher store still exist? There's not one anywhere near me. And I mean, it's sad, but I probably don't need to go in it. But like all of the little anything that I could laminate.
Yeah.
Put kids' names on them. Those were my favorite.
Oh, man. So I had a whole big thing. I had a big obsession for a few years with my Cricut machine. And that was a holiday present I got. I don't remember. Somewhere in my teaching career. And I was so jazzed about it because I wanted, like, like you see teachers will like make cute little fonts of like their kids' names and like label materials or label lockers or whatever. And I was like, all of those fonts don't have acentos and they don't have tildes and they don't have all those things. So I was like, I'm going to create labels so that I'm including all the acentos, all the tilde, all of the things. But then I went overboard. It was like a sickness. And I couldn't stop. And I got at Michael's again with Michael's. I got all these like, it was at the end of summer clearance sales that happened. And I got all these like little mini water bottles and I made stickers, like vinyl stickers with all the kids' names on it because I loved having everyone's name like represented and have it look official and very, like professional and stuff. But I would spend hours and so much money making.
Yeah, it makes me think though of one supply that I purchased one year and it went off with it was a hit. It was at like a dollar store end of season purchase like the year before. I got sand pail buckets, and they were like decent size.
Okay.
And I was teaching in a two-way setting at that point. And so we would go back and forth between classrooms, and all my kids would have to do to grab like their pencil boxes with their crayons and stuff, and like they had their notebook, their folder, is they just carried their buckets. Those buckets, I don't know why that just popped into my head, but like I would hands down do the buckets again. I like tried to start them color coded like by table, but then as I moved kids, I didn't want to always move buckets.
Yeah. Oh, that's genius.
But I'm thinking like they could sticker all over those, and like it was like $1 each.
Yeah. Oh, that's a good and very functional.
Yeah.
I like that.
How would we use a bucket?
Right. Yes. I love that.
It saved the like this, from little kids. Like
yes. It just all goes in the bucket. Everyone grab your bucket.
I love my buckets. I would hands down do my buckets again.
I love that. All right. So y'all that are watching, again, we would love to hear what are your like must-have go-to school supply items, or have you had like a bucket item, like a surprising win that you're like, oh, I love this. This worked out really great. I'm going to do this. Like what might help our network of teachers and say like, oh yeah, I could try that. That could really work for my class too.
I would love to know what teachers also like, what is the school supply that they want like kids to bring, like that's like a go-to, but then also they're just fun teacher supply.
Yes. We all got them.
Were you? I was the kid that saved all my supplies at the end of the year so I could play school all throughout the summer.
I know, I did too. And I would be the one who goes, hey teacher, do you have any extra worksheets that you're just gonna throw away? I'll take them all. I'll take them.
I know we're on the wrap-up side of things, but we went one year, I was probably in like second grade, to our school they were getting a new curriculum. And so you could go buy books from the old curriculum. They had them like outside. So we got a math book and a language arts book in different grades. And my mom was like 10 cents a book or something. And we got to write all over them. So that was so exciting. Like I got to write in a textbook. It was like my thing.
That's amazing. Oh my God. I love that so much. You're like, woo!
And this is why I am the way I am today.
Oh my gosh. Okay. This is totally unrelated, but kind of related. Do you remember, did you ever watch the movie Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter's Dead?
Oh, yes. I'm right on top of that, Rose.
Right on top of that, Rose. Do you remember in that movie, she would get like catalogs and she would draw on them and like make them like striped, or she would draw little designs. After I watched that scene, I was like, I'm doing that. That is life-changing. I'm going to do that for everything. And there would be some times in a textbook where I'm like, I really want that dress in this photo to have polka dots, but I can't do it because I'm a rule follower.
Right. And then you turn the page and whoever had that book the year before you drew an inappropriate image.
See, and I would be the student. I would go to the front of the book because like back then we wrote down.
You knew who had it.
Yeah. And you're like, Frankie, how could you? Like we took an oath to protect all these books at the beginning of this school year.
And you protected the outside of your book with a really nice brown paper bag. Yes. Kids don't know.
Kids have no idea.
Like, there was a whole special cut and fold system to making that book cover with the pocket.
God,
I wish I knew how to do that.
It was a precise art. It was an art.
And it was like, I had to remember to beg my mom weeks before school started to make sure we asked for paper bags at the grocery store instead of plastic.
Oh my gosh. This is so funny. This is memory lane.
That would be, that could be like just a fun conference session, like where we just like dig through the past. We make ourselves a book cover.
Oh my gosh. and we'll find Lisa Frank stationery.
It's back. They released it again. Like there's more.
Do you know I have? Okay, you're gonna laugh at me.
Do you have a Trapper Keeper down there?
Oh my gosh, you knew.
I knew.
But listen, are you ready? Listen. Isn't that the best? Why do I have this? There's nothing in here.
But do you remember then when you could get the zipper all the way around kind? And then you just had the whole day in that one in your Trapper Keeper.
Yeah. That was like
everything you needed was in there.
It was legendary. Like it was a big deal.
It was.
I love that you knew that.
I just felt it. I sensed
you just felt it. See, that's one of those things you feel it in your heart if a Trapper Keeper is coming into the.
And there's a certain age group and demographic where we're hitting. With this, but
yep, that's so true. That's so true.
those were, and then it was, when you did have your book covered, like, do you draw on it? Do you leave it plain? How often did you switch it out? And then did you ever get in trouble because you needed to put a new one on?
Yes. If I remember one time, I don't remember what grade it was. It might've been second grade. I saw all my friends doodling on theirs. And I was like, I'm going to draw a small doodle at the bottom. And I was the one who got caught. And they're like, Carly, you cannot doodle on your book cover. And so my mom was furious because she had to redo my book cover. I'm like, what a wild rule. And nowadays we're like, here's my Garobi notebook.
Do we just trust kids with textbooks now? Or do they just not have them?
I don't think they do. I think
I can go both ways, but there is something nostalgic about that textbook.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And like some of the literature ones in particular, like there's good stories in those.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
They're not all horrible. Our history ones could probably have we could use a good update, but
yeah. Oh yeah.
What's really changed probably in the biology book? I don't know.
Right.
I didn't read that one to begin with.
I love it. Oh my gosh. Rachel, it is already like 7:45. We're like, see, this is such a good topic for us.
This is a fun. I hope people are actually watching at some point. And
yes.
Are enjoying our memory lane adventures here that started with school supplies and what road did we take?
Yes. But friends, if you watch this either now or you're catching the replay later, let us know. Again, maybe you have a school supply from your past that brings back some good memories, or something that you want to de-influence us with and say, don't buy this, y'all. Don't get sucked into this. You don't need a bubblegum dispenser for erasers, Carly.
You do need that cardboard treasury looking box.
Oh, yeah.
Did you ever have one of those?
Because
I couldn't afford the fancy plastic one. I got a cardboard one that lasted like one season.
Yeah. Yep. Then you had to go buy the plastic one anyway. Yeah. So friends, thank you so much for joining us again. Leave all your stuff in the comments. After the fact, we'll come back and review. I'm so curious now. School supply is such a hot
maybe we just continue this topic into next week. We keep going.
We could just keep going. This could be our whole month of August, really.
We just talk about classroom-based items.
Yes. I mean, I think this is the hard-hitting stuff that people really want too.
This is the stuff at this time of year. It is because
it is the stuff.
Because all you're thinking about is somebody teach me how to take attendance, and then let me get all my supplies organized.
Yep. That's it. That's all we need. All right, Rachel. Thank you. Love hanging out with you.
Carly.
so much fun. All right, everyone, take care. We'll see you back here next week for another Wind Down Wednesday. Good night, everyone.